Welcome to my way of playing Spectre. Spectre is a very mobile carry that can be very strong in the late game, but not a farmer that makes your team play 4 against 5 in the beginning, like for example anti-mage. After level 6, she is able to gank anywhere on the map and help her team. She is very weak in the lane however, and can easily be shut down in the start of the game. Another thing she lacks is the ability to sustain her HP and farm the jungle. Unless you want to go Vanguard with her, she can't really jungle without losing too much HP and thus being unable to join the team with Haunt. Heroes like Void, which has Mask of Madness as a core item, can farm neutrals much better and can even gain health by doing so. Her spells also cost a lot of mana, and you may not be able to afford casting Haunt, even though it has such a high cooldown. But spare not, my friends, there is hope for Spectre. Urn is a great item for Spectre that both provides more HP, a bit more mana regen, and significantly cuts down on the time she has to go back to Fountain. I try to get Urn so I have it ready when I hit level 6, and then watch the map to see if I can gank someone and get 2 charges. Normally when you gank with Spectre, you may get a kill, but you can also lose a lot of HP, forcing you to go back to Fountain. With Urn, every time you get a kill and it's empty, you get 2 charges worth 800 HP. This enables you to keep farming after a gank, and the Urn charges can also be used offensively. Some people also like to rush Radiance, getting it with perhaps only brown boots and not much else. The problem with this build is that you will have trouble helping your team early on, having to play a style similar to AFK farmers like anti-mage. You will also lack HP and sustain after getting a Radiance. That is why I prefer getting cheap early game items and then building a Radiance. So I start off with 8 tangos and 1 salve, and then decide whether or not I want to get Stout Shield. If I'm against a solo offlane, I like to skip the Stout Shield and get an Orb of Venom instead, since it really helps pressure him off lane and might even enable you to kill him. Even if I get Stout Shield, I like to get an Orb of Venom after I get my boots. After that I build my Urn and then into Treads. You may also consider getting a Magic Stick. After these low cost items I will start building my Radiance. I'm usually able to finish Radiance about 20 to 25 minutes into the game. After Radiance I like to either get Manta or Heart. Desolate goes to your Manta illusions as well, so you can be able to deal a lot of damage with your illusions. When you heal yourself with the Urn, make sure to switch to Agility Treads. If they have no Invis heroes or you are under tower, you can also drop the Urn while you are healing. I like to stand atop on the Urn just to make it harder for potential enemies to steal it. Remember to heal your teammates with Urn if you have a lot of charges. If you have 1 Urn charge and you're about to kill someone, either use it on him to finish him faster or heal yourself just before you die. You will end up with 2 charges on your Urn either way, since if you have 0 charges you get 2. When you got Radiance on Spectre, you can farm the woods by simply being near the camps. Using this method you can farm 3 creeps at the same time in the Radiant jungle, and you take nearly no damage doing so. If you are playing against Potten, Gem on Spectre can be useful. The gem works on illusions, so Potten won't be able to counter your ultimate with her ultimate. When you finish your Manta, it can be a good idea to use it to bait ultimates. Just send 1 illusion ahead and control him like it was your real hero. Spectral Dagger does not last that long, and if you leave the path, you quickly lose the free movement. Be careful you don't get stuck on a cliff or in the trees. I have found that when using ultimate and trying to haunt in, it is sometimes kind of unresponsive and doesn't work how I want it to be. Be sure to click a few times to be certain that you haunt in. I used to max Desolate first in Spectre, but now I'm leaning more towards Spectral Dagger. As a general rule, if your team lacks stun and slow, you should max Spectral Dagger. If you have a lot of stun, however, you can get away with maxing Desolate. Even in such a scenario, I would still prefer maxing Dagger, simply for the extra mobility and chasing power it gives. You can also scout with Spectral Dagger, especially if you suspect that Sand King is hiding in the trees when pushing. Also use when farming and you feel scared. Scout ahead of the creeps with Spectral Dagger. You can also use Horn to steal their Aegis, though this is a very risky move. Note that BKBs counter you pretty hard if you got Radiance. As soon as you Horn, they can BKB and tank it. In addition to this, Desolate also doesn't go through magic immunity. BKB also negates the damage from Dispersion, so it can be a very good counter to Spectre. If they try to gank you, you can either use Spectral Dagger to escape into trees, or you can use ulti to get away. Since Spectre is so weak at the laning phase, I don't recommend picking him instantly. I usually wait until I know what heroes they will send to offlane, and then pick Spectre if I think I can be able to farm against it. If you like this guide to Spectre, you can subscribe for upcoming guides. You can also check out my other hero guides on Morphling, Earthshaker or Furrion.